Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
John, I got you.
John, do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag round it, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better. Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega. It is July the 5th. We are broadcasting live from the Red Dragons Radio Studios here in Tucson, Arizona. And I welcome you to the show. It's season 10, episode 25. 25, man. This is a long season right here. This is an extended season. Tonight's episode is called Old, Not Obsolete. And that, of course, stems from our big movie review of the week, which is going to be Terminator Genesis. So, I should say old, not obsolete, because that's where that stems from. Before we get started, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's been checking out the show lately. We've seen some increased numbers over the past couple weeks. So for all those new people that have joined the downloads and the listens and the streams, I say thank you and I welcome you. Hopefully you came back, and welcome you to another episode and another edition of a long-running podcast here, going over 4 years on the air. So I really am on the air. Very, very excited. Over close to 200 episodes now over the course of those 4 years. Like I said, 10 seasons. It's been a hell of a ride, man. Take a look also this week. We should be pumping out a brand new episode of Red Dragons Assemble, because June is all well and done with. So you know what we do at the beginning of every month. We drop a brand new Red Dragons Assemble episode with myself, Geeky Pat, and Peeps, where we break down all the big news and discuss it for the previous month. So we'll be talking all the June news, and right now we tentatively have it planned to record the new episode tomorrow night on Monday, July 6th. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out for you here in the next couple of days, unless something crazy kind of comes up. But that's the idea right now. So please keep an eye open for that brand new episode. If you haven't listened to our last episode, go back and check it out. It's available for you to listen to on reddragonsradio.com and, of course, on iTunes and Stitcher. But this here is Am I on the Air, where we bring you all the latest in entertainment news, in TV, and movies, and reviews, the whole nine. And like I said, so we're going to kick things off with our movie review as always, and tonight it is Terminator Genesis. This is the 5th movie in the Terminator franchise. This is the return of Arnold Schwarzenegger to his most iconic role, playing the T-800. I've been looking so forward to this film. I'm a big, big Terminator fan. I love all the previous 4 movies, but of course the first 2 are the big standouts of the bunch, especially T2 for me. T2, Terminator Judgment Day, I think is one of the greatest movies of all time. Absolutely love that film. I got really excited for this film about a month ago when I saw some interviews with James Cameron where he was talking about how Genesis was truly the number 3 in the franchise, and if you kind of just take the original T3 and Salvation out the mix, this is the true sequel to Judgment Day. And I thought that was really, really cool. I started to get a little bit worried going into it because critics have been pretty damn hard on this film, and it really sucks because I don't really feel like it's justified. most critics were pretty hard on this from the very first trailer. Everybody's been very just negative on this film from the beginning, just based on that first trailer. And then when the second trailer came out and it kind of dropped a little bit of a spoiler in that second trailer, then the critics really started hating on it. And so, of course, once the movie hit theaters, I felt like the critics they went into watching it already hating it in their mind. So, of course, they came out going, yeah, I was disappointed and I didn't like it, so whatever. And that really bums me out. I mean, we talk about Rotten Tomatoes a lot, and on Rotten Tomatoes, I think this film has like a 28%. So it's a rotten film by critics. And then by the fan views, it's about 60-something%. So, more than half really enjoyed it. I don't get what the hate is, to be honest with you. I really, really enjoyed this film. I like what they did with the timeline. Basically, this film, and this is a spoiler-free review, so you don't have to worry about anything. But, you get this kind of stuff in the trailer. But, the movie starts off after Judgment Day. We're in the year, 2025 or whatever, and John Connor's leading the resistance, and you meet Kyle Reese and everything. And it's basically the setup for the original Terminator film from 1984. John Connor says, I need to send somebody back to stop the Terminator, because they pretty much, they beat Skynet, but the original Arnold Schwarzenegger T-800 has been sent back in time already. So they send Kyle back to stop it and protect Sarah Connor, just like the original movie. But something happens and the timeline gets warped, so things are different now, and there's a T-1000 in 1984, but you find out that there's been another T-800 reprogrammed and sent back even further in time that's been watching over Sarah Connor since she was like a 9-year-old little girl. So when the Terminator Arnold from 1984 shows up, the older Arnold is already waiting for him, and they get into a big fight and everything. Of course, there's a big twist, like I said, from that second trailer. And if you haven't seen the second trailer, I won't spoil it for you. But basically, that was something that was really aggravating people when they saw that trailer, because they felt like they gave away too much. Why would they give that away? It made them really upset going into the film. It never really bugged me, because I felt like there was always more to the story, that they wouldn't just give away the biggest twist in the film. I will say, for those people that were worried about that, the only thing that really kind of sucks about it is when that scene kind of happens, you already know what happens. So there's no real tension, there's no real reveal to where you're like, oh my god, because you've already seen the trailer and you already know what's going to go down. So that was a disappointing factor. But everything else is great, and I love what they did with it. I thought the effects were amazing. I thought the action was really, really done well. And I like where they took the story. People wonder what the Genesis is, especially because it's spelled funky, and I always joke it's Terminator Genisys. It has something to play in with Skynet, and it all makes sense. And at the end, it really leaves the door open for more movies. This was an intended beginning to a new trilogy. They've already set release dates for the other two, and they were going to film them back to back and release them in 2017 and 2018 respectively. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore, just because the box office is kind of on this one. It debuted okay, but it's a disappointment compared to what they wanted. But it's doing really well internationally, so who knows where it might end up getting saved. I want to see more stories told. I want to see this group back. I want to see what happens with the future of this franchise, with the way and the storyline that they've set up now. Because with the time travel element, just like how Days of Future Past did it, and just like how Star Trek Reboot did it, there's a lot of options now for them to do whatever they want. They don't have to stick to any kind of preset storyline anymore. So I want to see more. I thought all the performances were great. I thought Jason Clarke was really good as John Connor. I thought Amelia was really good as Sarah Connor. She was really awesome, and I didn't know her from anything else. I know she's on Game of Thrones, but I don't watch Game of Thrones, so it was my first exposure to her, and I thought she was great as Sarah. Jai Courtney gets a ton of heat for whatever reason. I didn't think he was bad as Kyle Reese. I thought he did a really good job. Arnold is amazing. He's always been great as a Terminator, but he's excellent in this film, and I was glad to see him be, you know, the old school T-800 once again. And there's a cool moment with him towards the end of the film. Overall, I really enjoyed this film, and out of my 5 stars, I give it 4 out of 5. I was genuinely just, you know, thrilled with it. I watched it in IMAX 3D, and I thought the 3D really hit. I thought, you know, it looked beautiful in IMAX. I really enjoyed it. And out of the 5 films, I would say it's my 3rd favorite of the franchise. I would go T2, T1, and then Genesis. So this definitely is better than T3 and Salvation. So, you know, if you're a fan of the Terminator franchise and you've been kind of on the fence because of the bad reviews and stuff like that, I say please go give it a chance. I went with a group of like 4 people, and afterwards we all said we really enjoyed it. So, you know, the majority of, you know, the people I know really liked it, you know. So I say give it a damn chance. If you want to hear some of my spoiler views on it, download the Periscope app. If you haven't heard of Periscope, it's a really cool app where you can actually stream live video, and we started an Am I on the Air account for Periscope, and on July 4th, yesterday, I did a Terminator Genesis spoiler review for Periscope. So it was live streaming last night, and I've already gotten some good feedback on there, so thank you for everybody that checked out the Periscope already, because we pretty much did it with no advertising. And so if you want to hear me talk a little bit more openly about the views, and the video is about 14 minutes long, and you'll hear my full spoiler review on Terminator Genesis, so definitely check that out if you get a chance. It is the app Periscope. Alright, so that's my review of Terminator Genesis, 4 out of 5 stars. Let's now switch over and get through the news of the week. We have posted the full Comic-Con schedule, so that is starting this upcoming week. So if you're heading down to San Diego Comic-Con, you want to know what's going down, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, check out our Facebook and Twitter page for the full breakdown. The Daredevil co-showrunner that is getting ready prepping for Season 2, they are internally referring to Season 2 as Daredevil versus Punisher. So that's really exciting. You know, we heard that most likely Punisher was going to kind of be like the vigilante bad guy kind of while they establish him, and it looks like they are going to go that direction where Daredevil's trying to stop this vigilante, and it turns out to be Punisher. So it's kind of like them against each other. So I'm really down for that. I would love to see Season 2 kind of have that breakdown between the two, Daredevil versus Punisher. I like it a lot. Let's see here. Kevin Feige says that in the new Spider-Man Reboot film, he promises that we're going to see some new villains in it. He says that now that they got the property, they want to do something different. They don't want to rehash the same things like, you know, Dr. Octopus and, you know, and Green Goblin and Hobgoblin and all that stuff. He says they want to go with some new villains and test out some new waters, so I think that that's really cool, and hopefully we'll get some Mysterio finally, because that's one guy I really want to see. The Walking Dead Complete 5th Season Blu-ray has been announced, so if you're looking for that on Blu-ray, you can check that out. We have the first teaser trailer for The Affair Season 2, which is on Showtime. I love The Affair. It was a really good show, so I'm really looking forward to Season 2. Speaking of new shows coming back on Showtime, next Sunday is the season premieres of Ray Donovan and Masters of Sex, and I'm a big Ray Donovan fan. And you can actually, if you have Showtime now, you can stream those premiere episodes right now. I actually, just before I did the show, watched the season premiere of Ray Donovan, which doesn't even air for another week. So it's pretty cool. You can see it a week early through the Showtime app or through, you know, Showtime On Demand through your cable company. So if you like those shows, I highly recommend you can go check them out early. You don't have to wait another week. The Ray Donovan premiere was really good. Love that show. We got an article up talking about the X-Files revival. You can see who's back, who's new, and who we might see down the road. We have some cast character posters for Heroes Reborn, so you can check that out. We got an article up with Kevin Feige also talking about Black Panther's role in Captain America Civil War, which you can check out if you're interested with that. Donald Trump, of course, is trying to run for president, and he's been putting his foot in his mouth a lot lately, pissing a lot of people off. And a big petition started with NBC with people going to NBC saying, you know, cut ties with him, man. You don't want him on your network. And after a couple days of that, NBC did officially cut ties with Donald Trump. They basically fired him from doing anything on the network. They show the Miss America pageant, which is basically run by Donald Trump's company, so that will not air on NBC anymore. And of course, they do The Apprentice, the Celebrity Apprentice. Now, NBC says that they do own the rights to The Apprentice, but they just will not allow Donald Trump to host the show. So they will get a new host, and they do plan to still do the next season of Celebrity Apprentice. It will just be minus Donald Trump, so that kind of sucks for him. Warner Brothers is going to be shifting all of their DC Vertigo properties over to New Line Cinema. So, as you should know, Warner Brothers owns subsidiaries in the movie industry, which New Line Cinema is another movie studio, but it's owned by Warner Brothers. And of course, they want to keep the properties separate. So Warner Brothers Direct is going to be like your Justice League stuff. So Batman, Superman, you know, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, all that stuff. And then all the Vertigo properties, like Sandman and stuff like that, are going to go to New Line. That way the properties are spread out and people won't get it confused, because Sandman's not going to be a part of that Justice League world. So they kind of keep it with a different studio. Hopefully it keeps people keeps people from getting confused on that aspect. There's going to be a live action Attack on Titan that's going to be coming out for domestic distribution. And just the logo picture of this thing looks amazing. I don't know anything about Attack on Titan, but it looks pretty damn cool. We have an article up showing you all the Batman skins that you can get for the Batmobile on Arkham Knight, and including the Joker mobile, which looks really, really cool. We have the official title for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, ladies and gentlemen. James Gunn has turned in his draft, and everybody loves it. And the official title of the film is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So I like it. It kind of sticks in theme with the the Awesome Mix Volume 1 and the stuff like that for the cassette tape and the music. So the movie will be officially Volume 2 for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Very, very cool there. Let's see here. If you see Terminator Genesis on IMAX screens, you're supposed to be able to see a 5-minute special preview of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I say you're supposed to because I saw Terminator Genesis on IMAX and I did not get the 5-minute preview, so I'm a little bit bummed about that. So hopefully if you see it in IMAX, you will get it and you don't even get robbed like I did. Alright, we have the first look reveal of the new Ghostbuster costumes for the reboot, the female reboot. They pretty much look just like how the original Ghostbusters uniforms look, so nothing too crazy there. Let's see. The new Star Trek is officially filming right now, and it was confirmed that the title of Star Trek 3 is going to be called Star Trek Beyond. We have already talked about that title before. We knew it was heavily, heavily rumored, but it is now confirmed by the studio and by Justin Lin, who's the director of the film. Star Trek Beyond will hit theaters next year. We have the honest trailer for Magic Mike. We have everything wrong with Terminator Salvation in 19 minutes or less. If you're going to Comic-Con, you can get a chance to see the Days of Future Past Rogue Cut in a screening over at Comic-Con. It's actually not, you don't need a Comic-Con badge to see this. It's going to be Saturday, July 11th, down the Gaslamp District, 701 5th Avenue. Line opens at 6:45 p.m. No Comic-Con badges required. First come, first serve. And it's a free screening of the Days of Future Past Rogue Edition. So very, very cool. And that'll be hitting Blu-ray here in the next couple weeks. The director of A Most Violent Year, J.C. Chandor, may direct Tom Hanks and Will Smith in the new movie called Triple Frontier. Sounds like a cool movie there. We posted a deleted sketch from SNL when Chris Pratt was the host, where he plays Jason Statham, and it's a commercial for Jason Statham's Jason Stathams. It's a really cool sketch that was deleted for just a lack of time, so they weren't able to show it. But it was pretty damn hilarious, so you could check that out. We posted that up now. The Sci-Fi Channel has renewed Bitten for season 3, so that's definitely coming back there. Nene Leakes is leaving The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Back to the Future director Robert Zemeckis says that they'll remake this movie over My Cold Dead Body. So don't look for a remake of Back to the Future anytime soon. Congratulations to Evangeline Lilly. She, of course, is going to be an Ant-Man, which comes out here in the next couple of weeks. She revealed that she's pregnant at the Ant-Man red carpet premiere a couple days ago. So that's very, very cool. Congratulations to her. Guillermo del Toro is no longer attached to direct the Justice League Dark movie, so that's a little bit of a bummer. That's something that he's been working on for many, many years, and now supposedly they still want to move forward with the film. It's still staying at Warner Brothers, but Guillermo del Toro will not direct the film. Paul Feig has also shared the first look at the new Ghostbusters Proton Packs for the Ghostbusters movie. Also looks pretty much just like the originals, so nothing crazy there. We have the first season 2 trailer for BoJack Horseman, which is the original cartoon series that is over on Netflix. We have the official teaser trailer for Oliver Stone's new film Snowden as well, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. We have an article up talking about the Funko Comic-Con exclusives, including a Batman v Superman set, which I really, really want. I'm big into the Funkos, especially my daughter. I try to hook her up with all the new ones. She just got Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket. I want this Batman v Superman one, but it is a Comic-Con exclusive, so hopefully one day it'll come out for the rest of us. Vin Diesel's Kojak is going to be kicking all kinds of ass, says the screenwriter of the film. We talked about how they're finally moving forward with this Kojak film, so that's pretty damn cool there. Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn wrote a rave review of Ant-Man on his Facebook page, and we posted a link to that if you want to check it out. James Gunn says that Ant-Man is one of the top 3 Marvel films of all time. That is big words there, and I've actually heard many other reviewers say it's definitely in the top 3 as well, which gets me so excited for this film, man. This is another one of those films that, just like Guardians, everybody kind of just disregarded and said, oh, it's not going to be that cool, it's going to be kind of stupid, and now everybody loves it, and I've heard nothing but great stuff about Ant-Man, so looking so forward to that. Kevin Feige has confirmed that Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok, will not be directed by Kenneth Branagh, who did the first Thor movie. He says he will not be back and won't be making it. The Minority Report TV show has added Nick Zano to the show. He's going to be playing the other precog twin on the show to the main character of the new Minority Report. In some sad news, and I hate to see Hollywood couples fizzle, especially ones I like, and Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are getting a divorce after 10 years of marriage. Very, very sad. They have kids together, and I thought that they were just one of those great couples that were going to make it, man. They've been together for so long, but they are getting a divorce, so that's very, very sad. We have an article up called Spider-Man Through the Years that you can check out. We also posted a really funny picture of Spider-Man Through the Years on our Instagram page. You got to check that out if you want to see. We got some new trailers. We got Joe Dirt 2, Beautiful Loser, the second trailer for that, which will be debuting later this month on Crackle. We have the second trailer for No Escape, which is a new action film starring Owen Wilson and Pierce Brosnan. We got the trailer for Secret in Their Eyes, starring Nicole Kidman, Julia Roberts, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Looks really, really good. We have that Snowden trailer with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and we have the first trailer for Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone. Yes, that Creed, Apollo Creed. You heard about this movie. We talked about this probably a year ago. Michael B. Jordan is playing Apollo Creed's son, and Rocky helps train him. It's a Rocky spin-off film, but it really focuses on the young Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan. This trailer was really, really good, and I'm really looking forward to this film, so check that out. Remember, you can see all these trailers over at amiontheair.com. Click on the Trailers tab. Or you can scroll through our Twitter and Facebook page and find it there as well. Miss USA co-host Cheryl Burke and Thomas Roberts have stepped down in the wake of the Donald Trump controversy. The Miss USA pageant will also stream online after NBC has pulled the telecast due to all that controversy as well. We have an article up with all the new streaming movies and TV shows that will be coming to Amazon in July. Kevin Costner was going to be doing the new David E. Kelley Amazon drama, but he decided to pass on it, and he will not be doing it any longer. House of Cards has added Neve Campbell as a series regular for its next season. NBC has canceled American Odyssey after only one season. Michael Bay's new geopolitical drama has a brand new title. It was originally called 13 Hours. Now it's called 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. And the official release date of the film has been stamped in on January 15th, 2016. So you can check that out. See the new Michael Bay movie there. Jennifer Aniston and Julia Roberts have joined the new movie Mother's Day, which is basically from that same director that did Valentine's Day and New Year's Day and all the other holidays, where they get like 50 million movie stars to show up in these things, and somehow the movies suck. So now we're doing Mother's Day, so that's coming next year. Let's see here. James D'Arcy is returning for season 2 of Agent Carter. He plays Jarvis, so he's coming back. And we also have another article up that shows everybody that's coming back for season 2 of Agent Carter. Over in the rumor mill, they're saying that the studio is looking for a female director to direct the Tomb Raider movie reboot. So no shocker there, as they're really trying to beef up like these female directors with the female properties lately. Rooney Mara is very close to signing on to headline the new show Utopia with David Fincher. I believe it's going to be on HBO. Bryan Singer is going to be bringing X-Men Apocalypse to Comic-Con, so he's going to be showing that, as he's going to be showing some footage and bringing the cast to there. We have the first teaser trailer for London Has Fallen, which is the sequel to Olympus Has Fallen with Gerard Butler. I liked the teaser. It was pretty cool. I loved Olympus Has Fallen, so I'm looking forward to London Has Fallen as well. Peyton Reed, who directed Ant-Man, says he would love to do Ant-Man 2. He's waiting to just, see how the movie does and see if he gets asked back. In some crazy movie news of stuff that we never thought we'd see turned into a movie that is getting turned into a movie, Lionsgate is teaming with Hasbro, and they're going to be making a Monopoly movie. Yep, a Monopoly movie. I'm not lying about that. In some sad news, we're getting that Skull Island movie with King Kong, and unfortunately, Michael Keaton and JK Simmons have both dropped out of the film, and their roles are going to have to get recast. Supposedly what happened is the production on the film got pushed back a couple weeks, and because of that pushback, it bumped into both Michael Keaton and JK Simmons' schedules with other films that they're doing, and they just couldn't work it out, and they ended up having to leave. So that's a bummer. Tom Hiddleston is still set to star, but I really like the cast the way they had it set up, and that's a big blow to not only lose Michael Keaton, but to also lose J.K. Simmons, so that really sucks. We have the first image of Bruce Campbell in the new Starz channel Ash vs. the Evil Dead show, which is pretty cool to see Campbell standing there with the chainsaw on his hand in good old, Evil Dead style. Lawrence Fishburne is going to be portraying Alex Haley in A&E's new Roots miniseries. Fox is going to be doing a Fatal Attraction miniseries based on the film. They're going to be doing that as a special event. Anthony Mackie is going to play Martin Luther King Jr. in HBO's new show All the Way. So that's going to be pretty cool. I love Anthony Mackie there. Warner Brothers has revealed plans for their Hall H panel at Comic-Con, including Batman v Superman. Oh yeah. We got the brand new poster and trailer for the Transporter Refueled. The only thing I'll give this thing credit for was I thought the trailer was semi-entertaining, and this looks like something I would definitely rent to watch a good action movie, but I'm still really pissed that this does not have Jason Statham, and they're trying to say that this new dude is the Jason Statham character. That really bums me out. Paul Thomas Anderson is writing the new Pinocchio movie and may direct the film, and Robert Downey Jr. is tentatively signed to do the film as well. So we may be getting a Robert Downey Jr. Pinocchio movie with Paul Thomas Anderson writing and directing. So that's pretty interesting. The next unauthorized Lifetime TV movie that they're going to be doing is Melrose Place. Oh yeah, because we already had Saved by the Bell and 90210. Makes sense that we're moving on to Melrose Place now. We have the first trailer for Staten Island Summer, which is a new movie coming to Netflix on July 31st. It's a comedy starring a bunch of SNL alums, and it's produced by Lorne Michaels, who does SNL. So I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I'm pretty interested in this. I love what Netflix has been doing lately. Let's see. We have the brand new trailer for the Steve Jobs movie starring Michael Fassbender. This actually looks really, really good. It really makes the Ashton Kutcher Jobs film look like a TV movie when you watch the new Steve Jobs trailer with Michael Fassbender. It's done very, very well. Suits has been renewed for a 6th season over at USA. Anthony Anderson is going to host ABC's rebooted To Tell the Truth game show. Let's see. Terrence Jenkins and Paula Patton are going to star in a new film called The Perfect Match. Griff First has joined the Magnificent Seven cast. Kevin Alejandro has boarded Fox's Lucifer TV show. Paul Rudd just got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so that's really, really cool. Congratulations to Paul Rudd for that. We debuted the first picture of the new Entertainment Weekly, which is Batman v Superman oriented, where you see the first full color shot of Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, and of course Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in the middle of them. So you have the Holy Trinity right there. Plus there was 5 photos inside that were, exclusive first looks, where it had Ben Affleck in the metal Batman suit next to the bat signal in the sky, Superman in the middle of kind of that Day of the Dead festival, a picture of Bruce Wayne dancing with Diana, aka Wonder Woman, at a party. You see Lex Luthor, but he's got his longer hair. And then there's a close-up picture of Henry Cavill and Batman, Superman and Batman just face-to-face looking at each other like when they're ready to fight on the rooftop in the rain. Very, very cool stuff. I love the Entertainment Weekly cover of just seeing the 3 of them in full color together. It's great. I can't wait to see the news that we get coming out of Comic-Con this week. I hope to get some really cool Justice League stuff out of that. And so I'm looking forward to it. It was a great picture, and you can see that picture on our Instagram. Remember, go search Am I in the Air and follow us on Instagram so you can see really cool debut pictures like that. Kevin Feige talks about the absence of the Marvel one-shots. He says that yes, they've stopped for now, but if they have a really good idea anytime soon, they would love to bring back the one-shots. It's something that everybody really, really loved doing. Let's see here. Prince, in a little bit of music news, Prince has pulled his whole discography from Spotify, Apple Music, and a bunch of other streaming music services. No real reason why. He just doesn't want them on the services right now, so we'll see what happens. Spotify says they're working with him and his record label to try to bring the music back as soon as possible. Netflix has revealed the first full trailer for Wet Hot American Summer. I really like this trailer. It looks funny. All the episodes are going to start streaming at the end of the month. Really looking forward to that. We have an article up called The Entire Terminator Franchise Timeline Explained. I don't really know if it needs explaining, but this will break down all 5 films and how they all kind of play into each other going forward. So check that out if you're interested. Let's see here. First look. We have some new photos of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So those are pretty cool photos. That also confirmed that Deadpool is going to be a hard R rating. So we knew that they were fighting to get it R rated, but we didn't know it was going to be a hard R, which means this is going to be a very violent movie, but it makes me very excited. We have the new extended trailer for Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no. Oh, God. Melissa Leo has been cast as the First Lady in HBO's LBJ movie called All the Way. FX Networks has announced all the leads for the new Donald Glover pilot called Atlanta. You can check that out if you want to see who's joining that show. We have an article up with why Deadpool isn't just R-rated and it's a hard R. So that's going to be very, very cool. And my laptop just froze up on me. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's been one of these nights. We have a new 15-second review of Ted 2 up on our Instagram as well. You know how we do the 15-second movie reviews. So if you want to see a Ted 2 one, go check out our Instagram. Mark Wahlberg, Ronda Rousey, and Iko Uwais are teaming up for Peter Berg's new movie, Mile 22. Iko is from the Raid movies, so this dude knows how to kick some ass. And we know Ronda can kick some ass, so I like the sounding of this Mile 22 here. We have a spoiler article of who Matt Smith's character is and why it matters to the future of the franchise for Terminator Genisys. I won't give it to you, but that's there in case you've seen the movie and you want to know a little bit more about Matt Smith's character. The Wire alum joins Fox's Rosewood as a series regular. Marissa Tomei has joined Empire Season 2. Going back to Comic-Con news, a lot of people were thinking that Comic-Con was going to be switching cities here soon, but they've locked in a new deal with the San Diego Convention Center, and Comic-Con is going to be staying in San Diego through 2018. So it's going to be there for a while. Early estimates have Ant-Man hitting $65 million debut in its opening weekend. I think it's going to do more because the word of mouth is already so good for this film. Let's see here. We have the first photos for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies that you can check out from that movie. We have an article up describing some of the scenes that are going to be in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and we also get confirmation that the script is complete for the Justice League movie. It was written by Chris Terrio, who wrote Argo, and he also wrote the revised script of Dawn of Justice, and he wrote Justice League as well, and he was saying his script is all done and turned in, so they're ready to get going here, man, on this Justice League movie. I'm excited. I think we're going to get some good Justice League news at Comic-Con. We got a really cool article up, also a lot of Batman v Superman stuff this week, talking with Ben Affleck, and how when he first got cast, his first reaction was, "Are you sure?" and they explained, here's what we want to do, and here's how the character's going to be, and it's a really cool article, so check that out. We also have something up with an interview up with Gal Gadot, talking about how she was nervous about playing Wonder Woman and how that process has been. Fantastic Four director Josh Trank promises an epic multi-power slugfest for his Fantastic Four reboot. Zack Snyder, director of Batman v Superman, says that Wonder Woman plays a super important part in Batman v Superman, so that's really cool. Last week we talked about how Ava DuVernay, who directed Selma, she was in negotiations with Marvel to direct Black Panther. Unfortunately, on July 3rd, a couple days ago, she came out and she admitted that they did talk, but she ended up passing on the project. She says, we just didn't see eye to eye, and she thought it was better now to step down and not take the job than to leave later and cite creative differences. So that's a bummer. I know a lot of people were super excited. She says she was super excited. She's a big fan of Black Panther. She's a big fan of Chadwick Boseman and everything, and Marvel, and she said she'll be first in line to see the film, but when it came to making the film, they just couldn't see eye to eye on the direction of it, so she ended up passing on the project. Margot Robbie celebrated her birthday over the weekend with a very cool Harley Quinn cake that they gave her on the set of Suicide Squad, which I thought was really, really cool. Zack Snyder makes his case for the ending of Man of Steel, and how a lot of people complain about how, Superman finding Zod, and they went through all the buildings, and there was all the, destruction, and a bunch of innocent people died. Basically, Zack Snyder says that was all a plan. All of that gets referred to in Batman v Superman, and it is a big catalyst of why Batman is against Superman in the film, because of the recklessness of that and the lost lives that didn't need to be, and he says, that was all done on purpose to get to this point that they are in this movie. So he says, for all those people that hated it, give it a chance and see how it plays out in this film. So I thought that was pretty cool how it's going to move over and tie in to the new film, and about making Superman pay for that destruction and what happened there. Let's see here. NBC has canceled AD, The Bible Continues, after just airing a couple episodes there, so I don't know if God's going to be too happy about that. Let's see here. We talked about that. We have a brand new trailer for Ant-Man. It's the final trailer before the movie comes out. It's a little bit shorter, but it was pretty cool. You see a little bit more footage there. So far in the box office, Jurassic World has grossed a little under $1.4 billion worldwide, and it just passed Avengers Age of Ultron at the box office. It was number one again at the weekend box office for the 4th week straight, and in just those 4 weeks, Jurassic World has roared up the worldwide box office charts and is now the 5th highest grossing film of all time. And it probably will pass Age of Ultron here. They did just pass Age of Ultron here. I'm talking about the original Avengers. Could end up closing to that there as well. Let's see here. Yep, 5th biggest worldwide grosser ever with $1.385 billion. Kiki Palmer says that Scream Queens is going to be just as brutal as American Horror Story. Scream Queens is going to air on the Fox network. We have another picture of another upcoming issue of Entertainment Weekly, another Comic-Con issue with Deadpool on the cover. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool get up close and personal on a brand new EW Comic-Con cover. It's a great cover. I like it a lot. I love the Deadpool outfit, man. They just nailed it so much. It might be the best comic book to screen adaptation of a superhero suit that I've ever seen. I mean, they just nailed it right there. Alrighty, so that is the end of the news. Let's talk a little bit about box office here. Like I said, Jurassic World is number one, and it's the 4th week straight. It is the 5th biggest movie of all time now. So if I have it right, number 1 is Avatar, number 2 is Titanic, number 3 is Furious 7, number 4 is the original Avengers film, and now number 5 is Jurassic World. Let's see here. Now, Jurassic World this weekend made $30.9 million, and Inside Out made 30.1, I believe. So they're very close. Like, some are considering the films to be a tie. Tomorrow the official numbers will come out, and for all we know, Inside Out could end up bumping it because they're that close. I mean, they literally are both at $30 million right there. So that's what makes it really, really crazy. Let's see. So now can Jurassic World chase down Furious 7 to become the 3rd biggest? It's going to be a little bit tough. Furious 7... Actually, I thought Furious 7 was number 3. It's actually number 4. The Avengers is number 3 still. The Avengers is the 3rd biggest film of all time with $1.518 billion. Furious 7 has $1.511 billion, so it's super close to the Avengers. Jurassic World now has $1.38 billion, so it could do it. I think it could definitely beat Furious 7, and then definitely beat Avengers too. I mean, it might actually pass both of these within the next couple weeks. So I'm still blown away by how big Jurassic World has turned out to be. It is also now the 4th biggest United States film of all time as well. Domestically, it's made over $500 and something million. Let me see if I can get the official numbers here on that. Let's see if my computer will respond and talk to me. Let's see. Jurassic World. Yes, Jurassic World has grossed over $558 million in the United States, passing The Dark Knight to become the 4th highest grossing film in the United States ever, and only the 4th movie to gross more than $550 million in North America alone. So, Jurassic World has also grossed just under $1.4 billion worldwide, passing Avengers Age of Ultron with another $42 million that it earned in 66 other territories this weekend. Crazy! And just so nuts. Speaking of box office, also, of course, the two big releases this week were Magic Mike XXL and, of course, Terminator Genesis. Both of those films opened up on a Wednesday this week, where normally a movie comes out on a Friday. So the numbers are, we basically have two sets of numbers here. So Terminator Genesis, just for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, made $28.7 million. And then if you count from Wednesday, it made $44.2 million. Magic Mike XXL opened up with just $12 million on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and over the 5 days since Wednesday, it's made $27.1. So a lot lower than Terminator Genesis. There's when both films came out on Wednesday, Magic Mike had actually won the Wednesday box office because it seemed like all the females were running out to see it, and then all of a sudden they just all went away. And then Terminator Genesis got bigger and bigger and bigger every day. So at the beginning, everybody was saying, damn man, Magic Mike's going to kill it. And Magic Mike actually is being considered a flop right now. I don't know how much of a flop it'll be when everything's said and done, because they said they made the film for like $15 million. And it's already made 27 just in the United States. But where the flop kind of comes into play is the first Magic Mike film made almost $40 million in its opening weekend, and this one made 12. That's a big decrease right there. That is a big, big drop. Where we're worried on Terminator is the fact that, like I said, Magic Mike only cost $15 million to make. Terminator Genesis costs $155 million to make. So that's a big price. So they need to make probably close to $300 million to make it a super profitable film. And I don't know if it's going to do that. It needs to really take off internationally, and hopefully it'll have a little bit of legs here in the United States. So we'll see on that. Let's run down our box office and full release dates and wrap up the show. So on DVD and Blu-ray this Tuesday is going to be Maggie, which is the zombie film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Woman in Gold, and Kill Me 3 Times. In theaters this Friday is going to be Minions, Selfless, the new Ryan Reynolds film, and The Gallows, new horror film there. So that's going to be interesting. We know Minions is going to crush it. And here's the full breakdown just for the 3 days, not counting, it's not counting since Wednesday. I told you the Wednesday numbers for the two new films. This is the Friday through Sunday numbers for the box office. Coming in number 10, it's Dope with 1.1 million. Number 9 is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl with 1.3 million. Number 8 is San Andreas with 3 million. Number 7 is Spy with 5.5 million. Number 6 is Max with 7 million. Number 5 is Ted 2 with 11 million. Number 4 is Magic Mike XXL with 12 million. Number 3 is Terminator Genesis with 28.7 million. Number 2 is Inside Out with 30.1 million. And number 1 for the fourth week straight is Jurassic World with $30.9 million. And that is your box office. Yeah. So that, my friends, is going to do it for this episode of Am I on the Air? I thank you so much for tuning in and listening and giving us a chance. And please subscribe to us on iTunes, and you can check us out on Stitcher and TuneIn. We're all over the interwebs. AmIOnTheAir.com is our official webpage, so go ahead and bookmark that so you can watch trailers and everything right there. Movie reviews, listen to the shows, it's all right there. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/AmIOnTheAir. You can follow us on Twitter at AmIOnTheAir, and you can follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. You can listen to us on Red Dragons Radio, along with a lot of other really cool podcasts, so please check out Red Dragons Radio. Of course, download Periscope and check us out. We'll be doing some video stuff over on Periscope. You can follow us on Instagram. We're on Google+, so we're all over the place. Just whatever you're on, look up Am I on the Air and see if you can find it and enjoy. So I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I hope everybody stayed safe, and I hope you enjoy this upcoming week of events. And we'll catch you next week for another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? So till next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Don Mega. Peace. Red Dragon!